Okay, welcome back, everyone. I'm Zoe Trahanis. I'm a lead disaster risk management specialist at GFDRR. So today, in our second day of partnership days, we are going to hear from more partners as well as beneficiaries about GFDR's role in advancing climate and disaster resilience through its support for countries in the aftermath of disasters and its effort to mainstream climate and disaster resilience across sectors, such as schools and the construction industry. So before we get started, let me just give you a few reminders in terms of housekeeping. So once again, if you need the agenda, the QR code here is on the screen. You can just take a quick photo of that, and they're also on stickers around if you need them. For anyone online or even here, if you'd like to watch this again, because it's so awesome, we are going to be recording the event, so you can always come back to it. Everyone will be muted by default during the presentations, and we are going to have Q&A sessions, so we'll keep track of those questions so you can also share your thoughts with us. And of course, due to time limitations, we may not be able to get to all the questions, but we will try. Okay, so let's get started, and I'd like to introduce Bruno Seligman, who's our Director for Strategy and Operations for the World Bank Sustainable Development Practice Group, to give us some opening remarks.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, and good to see many of you from yesterday. I think we had a very good set of discussions. We learned about nature-based solutions, about hydromet systems and services, about early warning systems, innovation and digitization, and how it can help us make better decisions in the face of the kind of risks that are associated with natural hazards. So today we have a natural segue from that, which is to focus on the importance of really being prepared for disasters. Look, we all know that with climate change, weather events are getting more frequent, they're getting more severe. And so we have to learn from our experience with disasters. We have to learn to soften the blow of nature. We have to learn to prepare communities. We have to learn to manage better so that we recover more quickly when these shocks happen, so that we are more resilient as a society, at the community level, at the individual, at the household level. Of course, you know, as usual in our business, when something bad happens, the worst affected are the most vulnerable communities and people. They are the most marginalized, they are the poorest, they are those who don't have access to services or who don't have a big pile of savings they can draw on, who don't have food in the pantry and, you know, a country house to go to or whatever it is. And so, of course, it can have a very profound impact on those vulnerable communities. And the road can be long, but you can also have the opportunity to build back better and to create more resilient, more sustainable, and more inclusive communities. So we've been working on this at the World Bank for a very long time to support recovery efforts. We've done it in many countries, and most recently, very prominently in the terrible disasters that struck Pakistan, the floods and earthquakes in Turkey and in Syria. So what these disasters have highlighted is the urgent need to build that resilience and to ensure that the recovery efforts are green, and they're resilient, and they're inclusive. So what does it mean in practice? It's about infrastructure being sustainable. It's about renewable energy. It's about ecosystem restoration. So it's about thinking about how you can reduce your carbon footprint at the same time as you're creating economic opportunities and jobs for communities, and you're strengthening climate resilience. So you have to walk and chew gum at the same time. And this is really what resilient recovery is all about. It's also about investing in disaster risk reduction itself, including building those systems that you can draw on when the crisis hits, so such as safety nets and social protection programs, including digitized programs that allow you to reach the poorest and the most vulnerable communities wherever they are on their mobile phones, health systems and the resilience of those, but also strengthen the ability of communities to come together to withstand shocks and recover quickly. The trust in individuals is an important aspect of that. So it's also about equitable access to services. I mentioned services earlier. Of course, education, employment, but also health. Ensuring that no one's left behind is a good aim for the recovery process. So that sounds like a lot. The good news is we've seen in action how this can be done in many different settings. A good example is the Philippines, where the capacity building programs on how to respond and recover from disasters better and faster, which were put into use in the recovery efforts after Typhoon Rai. So that's a good example where the investments have paid off. Another one is Mozambique, which focused on gender responsive and environment friendly recovery and resilience planning after Cyclone Idai. Or Idai, I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce that one, but one of the most recent cyclones there. So look, as we move forward, I think that a strong priority on having resilient recovery, building more sustainable communities, societies, countries, and really thinking through what a more inclusive future for all means is going to be absolutely critical. So I look forward to our discussion and wish you a very good panel. Back to you.